Hey, this is Brandon Ford, and welcome to the Blind Rage Podcast. I'm very excited to have Tony the Tiger, a.k.a. the Thunder from Down Under, back with me. Say hi, Tony.
Lovely to be here again. Thank you.
And we are doing Sleepaway Camp II, Unhappy Campers from 1988. Another one of my all-time favorites. And this was Tony's first time seeing the sequel. He had seen the original before. But we'll get into his thoughts and opinions as we start the commentary. But I need to get the plugs out of the way before I forget. Oh, and by the way, I was very happy to see, because I finally figured out how to read the actual reviews on Apple Podcasts. Since I told you that they changed everything around, I got a very nice review. And
lovely.
Yes, I think the person who wrote it said that I speak elegantly or something along those lines. I was like, oh. And they really liked my Showgirls commentary.
Oh, lovely.
So
I gave your Swept Away commentary a listen to the other day. It was very good.
Oh, well, thank you. Have you seen that movie?
Oh, yeah, a couple of times.
Oh, okay. Well, I posted a review for that on Letterboxd, and some fucking jerk off responded to it and said, I got a real kick out of this review or some shit like that. I'm like, go fuck yourself.
It might have
I love
been
these
a happy
people who
review.
have to say something nasty just because, we have a difference of opinion. If you don't like the movie, then don't watch the movie and don't look up reviews for it. And suck my ass while you're at it. Anyway, plugs. Okay, so books. Yes, if you like to read books, especially books that deal with people stabbing each other in the face, you might like mine. So you can go to Amazon.com and check out my titles in paperback and Kindle by going to Amazon.com or the Amazon app, typing in Brandon Ford. You'll also find my Amazon author page, and please subscribe to that. You'll get a notification every time I have a new release. If you prefer audiobooks, you can go to audible.com or the Audible app on your smartphone, typing in Brandon Ford. You can follow me on Instagram if you don't already, at writer Brandon Ford. You can follow me on Facebook at Brandon Ford. You can follow me on Letterboxd at Brandon Ford. You can also follow Tony on Letterboxd at Tony_the_bear. Is that right?
Yes. And you've also got a Twitter account.
Yes. Didn't I say that?
Yes. Oh, I didn't think you did, but maybe you did.
Well, now Tony's got me frazzled. Okay, I'm on Twitter at Brandon Ford. And I'm also on Instagram at writer Brandon Ford. Yes. So, yes. I would give out my Facebook, but I'm very close to the 5,000 friend mark. So, I don't know. You can send me a friend request there if you want to. Almost. Hold on. Please don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. As I said, I got a very nice review, and that made me happy. So now I have 7 ratings, all 5-star, so 100%, which is good. And so, yeah, please don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, critiques, suggestions, recommendations for movies you'd like Tony and me to do, or Tony, me and James, or me and James, or some facsimile of the 3, or just Tony and James. If you don't like me and you would rather that they do the commentaries, I won't be too happy. But I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying. So yeah, you can contact me directly at blindragepod81@gmail.com. So since we are doing a double feature tonight, we are going to be recording commentaries for both parts 2 and 3. So I'm going to keep this relatively short so that we can get into the movie right away. And fuck.
Maybe after the movie.
All right, that was inappropriate. So, yes. Okay. All right. Okay. So we are going to get started. This is from, I'm using the source from Scream Factory, which has the MGM line at the beginning. So if you're using a source that doesn't have that, I guess, I don't know. Give it a few seconds before you, or I don't know. Start it a few seconds early, maybe, right? Wouldn't that work? Yes. So you could start like 3 seconds early. There you go. Okay, so are we about ready to go, Tony the Tiger?
We have synchronized our watches.
Yes. So here we go. All right, we're going to begin with a 3 count. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, play. And there's the MGM logo. Yes, he's very ferocious.
And didn't Joan Crawford have that tattooed on her backside?
I think so. I don't know. I think you just made that up. So, what I'm sure most of you will notice immediately is that Felissa Rose does not reprise her role as Angela in the sequels. And Felissa has commented a few times about that, and first thing I heard was she was going to college at the time, so I think she was about 18. Yeah, that would have been right. Because she was 13 during part 2. I mean, part 1.
Part 1.
So this guy has quite the mullet, I must say.
He does.
So yeah, Felissa was going to college, and I don't really think that she wanted to do it because of that. But then she also said that she didn't really relate to the Angela that was written in this script, because Angela is very, very different in parts 2 and 3. And from the sounds of things, director Michael A. Simpson really wanted Pamela for the role. I think he worked with her before on a movie called Fast Food. I don't know if that was before or after this one, but Fast Food was kind of a slapsticky 80s comedy that has some of the Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 actors in it, and it also has Jim Varney, also known as Ernest P. Worrell, and Tracy Lords. And so I think he really wanted Pamela. And Felissa, there doesn't really seem to be any bitterness. I think Felissa thinks that things worked out for the best, and she was very complimentary on Pamela's performance. So, and not to take anything away from Felissa, I enjoy Pamela's performance a lot more. A lot has to do with the writing in the movie as well, because I like the clips. I like the way Angela is a totally different, because before she was quite the introvert, and now
she's quite reserved.
She's quite reserved, yeah. And now she's she's a whole new person, and I think a lot of that has to do with her being a little bit more comfortable in her skin since she underwent the surgery to
Yeah.
male to female. And so, what do you think of Pamela?
I liked Pamela, and I did find Felicity's acting in the not Felicity, Felicity's acting in the first one a little two-note. I'll give her that. So it was good to see a bit more character depth and dimension in this sequel.
Yes. Yeah.
Something that I read about Felissa is that apparently she felt that she wasn't really gelling with the comedic element of the sequel, which I didn't really see. It wasn't heavy comedy or anything, but compared to the first one was quite straight up.
There are some definite comedic moments, and Angela has her fair bit of one-liners, but I still consider this to be a horror film. And
Yeah.
there is some comedy in the original as well. I don't really think that it is centered around the Angela character, but there are some comedic moments among the other characters. So, but
well,
no,
the dialogue is very like you're a
original?
carpenter's dream type of thing. Yeah.
Oh yes, yeah. And I like how they have this right out of the gate. Quite.
What I said to you, I wish that they had more blood with the tongue.
Yeah, it just kind of spurts a little bit, and you see it on her shirt.
Yeah.
I remember for a time you could get, I think it was through the official Sleepaway Camp website, you could get sweatshirts that had the Camp Rolling Hills, sweatshirts and t-shirts for Camp Rolling Hills and Camp New Horizons.
I have seen people online wearing them.
But they said like www.sleepawaycampmovies.com on the back, which...
Oh, okay.
I don't know where the fuck it went, but I had a t-shirt that was... it was supposed to be a mock of the Camp Arawak t-shirt.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know where it went.
If it was my mum's house, it'd be used to dust the furniture at the moment.
Well,
used to wash the car.
Well, I still have I have t-shirts for all three of them with the regular artwork on them. And so let me get some boobs. We would get some blood, add some boobs within like the first 10 minutes.
Yeah. Real shock boobs. Like it's just out of nowhere. It's like...
Yeah. Yeah, they just kind of slap you in the face.
They motivate you. Oh, God.
Well, the actress playing Allie, Valerie Hartman, I think that Michael A. Simpson kind of had a liking to her because she stuck around for part 3, and I don't know if this was supposed to be a joke or not, but it got changed. But on IMDb, for a time, she was credited as Raccoon Wrangler, because there's a scene with a raccoon.
Okay.
There's a scene with a raccoon in part 3. And then it got changed to her being his assistant.
Yeah.
So, but she's nowhere to be found in part 3. I don't know. I mean, I like Allie as the villain. She's very nasty. But I think that Judy is the more effective bully, female
Yeah,
bully.
yeah. Well, her bullying was more effortless.
Yeah. Yeah. She's very comfortable with these things hanging
Yeah,
around.
it's like the late 60s comfort level.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so as I'm sure everybody knows, the characters are all named after the Brat Packers of the 80s, and Uncle John was named after John Hughes.
Ah,
TC was Tom Cruise.
God.
Diane, I don't know who she was supposed to be named after,
Diane Lane?
but she was maybe that could be. Because there's Jodie and Brooke, and they were Jodie Foster and Brooke Shields. So, and Diane
Yeah,
Lane
yeah.
was a child actress of that same era. So,
Era,
could
yeah.
be.
Although I did have to relook up because when she kept calling him Uncle Joe, I was like, that's not the dad's old lover, is it? But no, it's not.
No.
Well, it was just his name that he had around the campers. Well, because I thought that'd be a good twist if it was that they were related. Because you never really hear what happens with that dad again.
Right. Yeah. No. I think the second and the third one are very much their own. They're in their own universe. I mean, they take the Angela backstory, and that's about it. And you really don't you don't really hear much about anything else. There's no mention of Aunt Martha.
Well, Angela sort of mentions her in passing, saying, "My aunt always says."
Oh, right. That's
more efficiency or whatever.
Yeah, and that's true, and I like that that little mention there, because you can definitely see the Aunt Martha character just spouting off, cliches like that.
Yeah. Like, it would have been, actually, now that you're saying it, it would have been good to see Angela start to morph into that type of character that her aunt was.
I don't know.
Well, I think, because aside from inspiring the character, I don't really see much tie-in with the first.
No, both of these are 2 and 3 are very, very different movies.
Yeah.
There's a moment you'll notice, and Pamela is really not. She's not playing guitar. She's pulling a Phoebe Buffet, where she's like just strumming. She's not.
Her
She's not
brother
really playing.
Bruce is playing guitar.
Well, she's just strumming, and her voice is overtaking the chords, or the lack thereof. But there's a moment where when she's singing, she rolls her eyes, and according to the director, she did that because her voice cracked on that note. So she was rolling her eyes at herself.
Yep. Which is something that I do when I've done karaoke. It's like a... Because I've never been too drunk to do karaoke. Like...
So you can barely hear anything, because it's her voice, and plus everybody else is singing too, so you really can't hear the guitar at all. There's Renee Estevez. I wonder if she noticed that there were characters named after her brothers. And they're right there. There's Charlie and Emilio. There's Diane. Um,
She's a bit butch.
You think? I never
Well,
thought that.
maybe it's just the hair and the tucked in top.
Oh. I was kind of I remember I was kind of bummed when she killed Diane because Diane really didn't do anything, and
Yeah, she's
but I think she was just
quite indiscriminate.
eliminating everybody. Yeah.
Yeah. She's sort of like a teenage version of Jigsaw.
I guess.
Well, except she's got a far looser look at if you're doing something wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, he thinks this is something about him. I wonder if he'd be attractive if that hair was just a little shorter.
Well, I'm trying to think. Has he been in other stuff? And I just
He
can't
was a soap
recognise him with
opera
that hair.
actor. A soap
Oh,
actor.
okay.
So American soap opera. So you might not know him. What always bothered me about this scene right here is the
How wet they are on their towels.
The towels are soaking wet. The ground is
Yes.
soaking wet. So that shows how many takes that they did. And that they didn't have time to, wait for the concrete to dry.
Or afford a second towel.
Or afford a second towel. So they're just sitting on a wet towel on the wet ground. And they said that that pool was quite grimy and gross.
Oh.
It was not cleaned before they did it. I think they did like a moderate amount of cleaning, but people were you can't tell. But the cast was not happy about swimming in that water.
Well, I mean, there's a guy swimming and he's got like his face and nostrils underwater. It's if it was dirty, I'd be sort of like duck stroking or whatever. Breast stroking.
Yeah. And I don't remember his name, the actor, but this actor playing Rob, he was 16 and at the time, and Allie I think was 18. So later on when they had their sex scene and she's on top of him, he had a double. When you see the back of his head, that's not him. And
well, she was quite offensive after that scene.
I know. But wait a minute. Charlie and Emilio are about to have a line. Right there. The party hats at 2 o'clock. Because they had actual kids in this movie, they had a child, whatever, I don't know, looking after them. And the line in the script was originally, "Hey Emilio, check out the nips." And the child person was like, no, they can't say that.
Yeah.
But I think party hats at 2 o'clock is funnier.
Well,
check out the nips.
I wouldn't have actually really understood what he was trying to say.
Well, of course you wouldn't.
It's not a term that I'd heard before, is what.
They must have been over 18 because of their dialogue here.
Yeah. But, like, I was just thinking, nowadays kids would be able to say a lot worse than what.
Yeah. I guess they had a stricter... I still don't know what the title of what this person... it can't be a child labor. Maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, because you do see kids cursing. I mean, look at the first one. There's a lot of cursing from the kids. So
I was watching a review where like Who wrote this? Andrew Dice, whatever. I forget the comedian's name, but it's such like blue language by the kids.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I said before during the commentary for the first one, Robert Hiltzik wanted to write the kids the way kids really talked.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, they are a little bit watered down in this one. The actual kids. But everybody over 18 seems to get away with whatever. And here's the guy here. He doesn't have any lines later, but his character's name is Matt Dillon. He's named after. You see him later.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, you see him later. After she has Molly and Sean in the little cabin, she's dragging Matt, and she says, "Come join the party, Matt. The Schultz sisters are here."
Yes, yeah.
You know, it's one thing to screw up your own life.
I don't like this part at all. I mean, setting somebody on fire, that's horrifying.
And the
But
sister
there's a
seemed
good
to die
message at the end of the day.
quite quickly.
She did, yeah. That was one of the biggest goofs or complaints about this scene is, you know, she's completely charred. And
Yes.
how long was the other one passed out for?
And like Angela had to like restring together the skeleton after she got burnt to death.
I hate this.
I guess.
Go home. What's the matter? Don't you like to paint? No, I want to go home. I hate this place. Let me go.
Oh, this girl needs to get belted in the mouth.
Quite complacent by how much paint she got on her feet, this girl.
Go home.
Yeah.
Go home.
She kind of looks like my sister used to look when she was that age.
The compulsive liar?
Yes. I only have the one, thank God.
Just leave me alone.
Are you sure? She would tell you different.
If there's more, please. So this is the one person or the one camper she says she sent home and actually did send home.
Yes, yeah.
I sent the Schultz sisters home this morning. I found them getting high and fornicating with one of the boys.
Fornicating.
Yeah, that's one of her favorite.
It's like a
words.
homicidal Sheldon Cooper.
Or she's kind of like also like
No thanks, I don't drink.
Annie Wilkes in that she's homicidal but she doesn't curse.
Oh, yeah. You cockadooties.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you've all heard by now I had to send the Schultz sisters home.
So this scene coming up here with the panty raid is very much of its time because there were a lot of TNA comedies that were set in camp,
Yeah.
or colleges that dealt with this kind of thing. So I think that they were trying to probably stay in that vein and make something identifiable to the films of the time.
So,
I was surprised by how late 80s this was. I kind of felt
what did you hear?
that it felt like an earlier 80s movie.
Well,
That's impossible.
But
Because if you were in the
it was
I guess it was
shot.
coming towards the end of its.
It was shot toward
Right.
the end. Both of them were shot back to back toward the end of '87, and then this one was released toward the end of '88, and then Part 3 I think was toward the end of Part 3 was toward the end of '89.
Yeah.
So, but they were luckier here because they got to shoot at a real camp, but much like the first one, it was off season, but it was still September, like late September, early October. So it wasn't too cold, but
Yeah.
in part 3, you can see how cold everybody is because it's
Yes.
like early November in Atlanta.
Oh, okay. Yep. I was gonna ask because it's set in New York State, isn't it? But
No,
obviously filmed.
Georgia.
Oh, I thought it was.
No, I think the first one is supposed to be New York State, like upper New York, but yeah, no, or I don't know where this is they're supposed to be set. It might be set in the same area, but yeah, these were definitely filmed in Georgia.
Yeah. I filmed in Waco.
No,
Well, it says in the trivia.
Waco
Filmed
is
on
in
location
Texas.
at YMCA Youth Camp in Waco, Georgia.
Though there's a Waco in Georgia, I don't know. Oh wait, maybe
Don't
I'm
blame
thinking
me.
about the.
Blame the trivia.
Maybe I'm thinking about the opening scene in part 3 because I'm pretty sure that was downtown Atlanta. It was a rough neighborhood. I don't know what the hell kind of jockstrap that she has on her head. What is that? And TC really doesn't give a shit. He's just, I'm going back to bed.
Now I'm hoping that the music is added in post and not because how can you be sneaking around with this music playing in the background?
Yeah.
God.
This scene coming up, I was actually gonna use this for the opening, because the clip is on YouTube, but people always have to fuck my shit up by putting some kind of like logo or
Intro
some
music.
jingle or I think it starts right with the sound of the wolf howling, but then when it's over, there's like some kind of a something or other. I don't know. I can't see what it is, but the drill, Mayor is named after Mayor Winningham from St. Elmo's Fire. I wouldn't really call her a Brat Packer. She was just happened to have been in a Brat Pack movie.
Yeah, it's not a name that I would remember.
No.
Like, it's not one that I know.
Have you
It'd
seen
be like saying the
St. Elmo's
janitor
Fire?
from Breakfast Club. No. Although I found out where it got its name from because I watched the movie about the Hindenburg.
Oh.
And apparently it was some thing that happened during the static electricity. Some phenomena.
Yeah, some light that happened across the sky, and they thought it was a fire, but it wasn't a fire, and there wasn't even a St. Elmo. I don't know. Like Rob Lowe has this whole scene where he explains the title, and it's so fucking unnecessary. It's like, why? I don't care. Because one would assume that it was called St. Elmo's Fire because they spend a lot of time at St. Elmo's bar.
Yeah.
They could have just cut that whole scene out because it added nothing. But we're not watching St. Elmo's
Was Jennifer
Fire.
Jason Leigh in St. Elmo's Fire?
She was not.
Ah.
It was
What
Demi
was she in
Moore, Ali Sheedy.
Yeah.
What was Jennifer Jason Leigh? Jennifer Jason Leigh was actually in Fast Times at Ridgemont High with
That's
Pamela
the one I'm
Springsteen.
thinking of. Yes. Oh, okay. Because they could have named
was
3
she in?
characters after her.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, and as he's running down this list, the majority of the things are things that Angela
Like
took.
murder weapons, yeah.
And you don't see the sunglasses until part 3. I don't think she wears
Yes,
the
yeah.
sunglasses in this one.
Well, it didn't go with her hair.
Mm.
Because she had that
Yeah.
terrible
She wore a
haircut
wig
in
in
part
part
3.
3. Yeah.
I couldn't even imagine a styrofoam head wearing that hair.
Oh. I don't know. Well, let's not talk about that now. I don't know. I think this is kind of creepy here because she's
humming,
singing. Yeah, she's humming "Kumbaya," but she's got her ear against the door, kind of like, I don't know, like they're talking. The dead bodies in there are talking to her or something. I found this part very odd. Because
maybe I wasn't ever really paying attention, but it never explained why she felt so connected to camping. Like, I know it was when she killed everyone in the first one, but like, is that the only way she can express her homicidal side?
Well, the most pivotal moment, I think, of her life happened while she was camping. And, that was when she shed her skin, so to speak, and decided to embrace who she really was. So, that might have had something to do with it.
It could be that, she's like Jason on Saturday the 14th. He, just sits back and relaxes in a robe and cups of tea. And when she's not at camp, she's just sitting around doing nothing.
Sean's smart. He knows a good thing when he sees it.
Sean, after who?
Madonna's ex?
I'd like to go out with cheerleaders.
Sean Penn.
I tried out for it.
Yes.
I didn't make it. I guess I just didn't cheer loud enough. Sometimes. I used to be shy. Never talked to anyone.
They did want to have Renee Estevez come back for the supplemental materials for the Sleepaway Camp Survival Kit. I don't think they asked her again when they put out the Blu-ray, but she expected to be compensated, rightfully so, and they didn't want to pay her.
Yeah.
So, no. And, I've heard conflicting stories about Pamela. Because she's a photographer now, and she did some of Bruce's album covers, and she directed some of his music videos. And originally, I heard that she didn't want to participate in anything because, as far as interviews and such, or for these, was because she had moved on. She wasn't an actress anymore, and she really didn't want to have anything to do with it. However, the same year that the Survival Kit came out, was 2002, was the 20th anniversary of Ridgemont High, and they got every fucking body, including Pamela, to do like a graduation kind of like photo for Vanity Fair.
Oh, yep.
So she participated in that. And then I heard another story that she was pregnant at the time they were putting the supplemental materials together. But I heard that years and years later, so I don't know if it's true. I really don't. I don't think she wants anything to do with these movies, honestly.
Okay. I could imagine in today's environment backing away from this type of movie, just with how they've sort of become looked down upon for their attitudes towards transgender people.
Maybe.
However,
Well,
in 2002, I couldn't imagine
yeah. In
that people
2002,
were thinking that way.
it wasn't as sensitive of an issue. But
still, like back then, being in a horror movie wasn't the great badge of honor that
well,
that
but
the
like I
fans
said,
really treat it as.
yeah. But like I said, she also worked with Michael Simpson on a comedy. So, I don't know. I really don't know. But there has been this expansive documentary chronicling all of the Sleepaway Camp movies, including the unfinished Part 4, as well as Return to Sleepaway Camp, that is supposed to bring back everybody. And from what I heard, there hasn't been a definitive yes or no as far as whether Pamela's going to show up. I'm guessing not.
Yeah. Well, do you reckon it would be Felissa?
Oh, for sure. Felissa,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah.
Although they could get Pamela to take on the aunt's role.
No.
Aunt Martha.
No.
come
Not a remake. We're talking about
Yeah,
documentary.
but whatever happened to Aunt? Oh, okay, but
Well, Desiree Gould unfortunately passed on, but there
Yes.
there is some archival interviews with her, or there are some.
Well, apparently
archival
she was
that-
always quite happy with how the fans loved her for this movie.
She
For
was.
part one, sorry. Yeah.
She was. Yeah. If Pamela started doing the convention circuit, oh my god, people would lose their fucking minds. Because there are so
Yeah.
many people who would love to meet her. So many people who love these movies. She would clean up in autographs and selfies and
CD
But-
singles.
CD singles. I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about.
The song that they sing.
Where'd you put it? If I knew that, I'd have it. Listen, I'm gonna take a
Yeah, I wasn't too happy with the F-bomb here.
Yeah.
Or no, I don't think it
Yeah,
happened yet.
yeah. Yeah, I think it's later. But I was surprised by the use of real blades in his mock.
I know.
glove. Just
How the fuck he would have made that, I have no idea.
mm.
Hey, where'd you find it?
This is very similar to the throat slitting of Annie in the first Friday the 13th,
Oh, okay.
which is ironic because we have Judd playing Jason.
Yes.
Faggot, where are you?
I think this is my nephew's favorite scene because he loves all of these masked maniacs.
Well,
Seeing them all together in one is
Yeah.
like, oh.
Well, the cover art I remember is what drew me in initially, because you got the Jason mask and you got the chainsaw blade hanging out of the backpack, and you got Freddy's glove hanging out of the backpack. And it's being held by a girl who isn't in the movie. So Marcus watched this one as well.
Yeah, he watched it before I got to see it.
Oh.
He really got into these.
Oh, okay. Well, that's surprising, because being that he's so young.
Well, he watched it when he was like 21.
Well, even still.
Oh, God.
That wig is so weird.
Angela! Surprise! It's not nice to scare people.
I definitely I would have to get rid of fucking fucking um what is her name? The Tattletale.
I'll bet.
Oh,
Leah.
I was just going to start listing off 80s characters.
Leah, yeah. Leah after Leah Thompson. Who really wasn't a backpacker either. She was just in all the right moves.
No, who is Leah Thompson?
Unless you want to count Howard the Duck.
Oh my god. They've got candles in the toilet.
Ugh, so nasty and sleazy. But you know, our people are no strangers to bathroom sex.
Well,
Just look at George Michael. So I'm assuming he had a double here too, because I don't think he would have been able to do this stuff.
yeah.
And I love how he's supposed to be going down on her, and he's at her navel. He doesn't go below her navel at all. I guess he doesn't know.
He's looking at her belly button.
I guess he doesn't know where it is. You know what they say? A lot of stray guys don't know where to find a bean.
Mm-hmm. Oh, God. She doesn't look like she's having fun, though.
No, she doesn't. I think
and I don't know why they went into the toilet if they've locked the whole complex. You know.
I don't know, but
I'm thinking too much into this. Yeah.
Yeah, I think she was just frustrated because she was clearly very experienced and he wasn't. So, you know, she wasn't very patient with him. One thing that I always thought was very adorable that's about to come up, and it has a lot to do with the size of Angela's pants because they're so big. But I think it's so cute when she picks up the chainsaw and walks after Allie. The way she walks, it's just so cute.
I got him again. Runs in the family.
See, I thought the most realistic part of this movie was how much she struggles to turn on the chainsaw. 'Cause it's like, coming from someone who's used a chainsaw, it doesn't turn on immediately.
No.
It's like you have to do the choke, you know, and then you have to flood the engine, you know.
It's about to come up. How cute is she?
Oh, I was thinking of the wrong scene then when she struggles to turn on the chainsaw.
No, because when she picked it up to follow her, because the way she walks in those pants, they were like clown pants.
Tell the two of them I am extremely pissed off.
Okay.
I was talking about that, I think in one of my solo commentaries about how unrealistic it is sometimes. I think it was probably because I did a commentary for a Chainsaw Massacre 2 by myself, and I was talking about, because there's certain scenes where the chainsaw is just on.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere.
I didn't think he had.
And
Well, we warned you.
also there's a scene in Friday the 13th Part 5. Funnily enough, the Pam character is she's hiding in, like, I don't know, some kind of a storage shed or something, and I hesitate to say Jason, but Jason opens the door and she steps out and the chainsaw is already running.
Yeah.
And no, that's not how that works.
You want to talk about it?
And Allie is such a fucking cunt.
What happened? Did you find
But
out?
I have to say though, During Allie's death,
She said she hated me.
um,
She said all these
I think Angela has some of the best dialogue. And I really love the scene when the moment where she has the knife behind her back, and first it's the blade is upward, and then when she's decided she's gonna do what she's gonna do, she flips it down.
Yeah, yeah.
So that is some of my favorite dialogue in this one, and my favorite moment in the third one is the flagpole scene.
Oh, okay.
But this is so seedy. There was a I don't know, I guess they were preparing for a TV version, which I could never imagine these being shown on TV. But there was an image a long time ago on one of the Sleepaway Camp websites, and it was a picture that was an outtake of Allie on top of him, and she's got a blouse on.
Oh, okay.
Thanks a lot.
She's kind of reaching for things to say to she just wants to leave, but she doesn't know what to say. That's fun.
Although he lasted a while for a young'un.
Well, we don't even know if he finished.
Listen, you don't have AIDS or anything, do you?
God.
Great.
She's so classy.
I liked his no
Yeah.
more than anything, but like that, I scoffed at that line.
Yeah, because they were raw dogging. Of course, Allie probably had multiple abortions.
Yes. Oh, well, sorry. I thought you were going to say she probably already had multiple STDs.
Well, that too, yeah. I'm sure Rob has a...
She could have ended that conversation with, well, now you do.
That would have been a very funny, but not so funny at the same time.
Yeah, dark. But...
Yeah. But, yeah. Nevertheless, Rob has a very painful urination in his future.
To get some cranberry juice.
No, he's going to need more than that. Now, she goes for the paper, and it's folded completely differently.
Yes. And it's written like it's written by a complete idiot.
I know.
Like in crayon or something.
In crayon, yeah.
Sean? Sorry I'm late.
Is the Camp Rolling Hills image supposed to be over the tits? Like, is that intended?
I never thought about it.
Shit. Goddamn Molly.
Goddamn Angela.
What's your problem?
You. And kids
She's
who
so
like
good in this movie.
Very funny.
I didn't think you'd fall for it. You're dumber than I thought.
Yeah? Well, you're more fucked up than I thought.
I don't like that sound because it's clearly fake, and they really didn't do very much makeup on her back. They just cut a hole in her shirt and put some blood on her. That's about it. You know, there's really no wound.
Get in there.
For Halloween, I dressed up with the back wounds and a knife in my back, and it's sort of that level of makeup.
I like this here too. She's thinking, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And then she finds the stick.
Answer me.
Oh, it seemed quite
Your favorite words. Well, if you mind if I borrow for a moment? You've been a shitty
pre-prepared that she's going to put her in the toilet.
I didn't think so.
Well, she knows about the leeches.
This part here.
Some God-given talent.
He turned into nothing but a sinning, dirty mouth waste of flesh.
Waste of flesh. What else is down there?
You're gonna have to climb in and find out.
Climb in and find out.
For a leech like you.
Leech like you.
It looks like she's hurting her with this stick.
Yes.
Because you know she's not missing her every time. Because it looks like she's really pressing on something, and she's probably pressing on Ellie's legs or something.
Well, it could be like a spongy stick. Or like a,
maybe.
But maybe not.
Maybe. But they do. They get
clean
some
out the
good
pool.
mileage out of that stick because she uses it again in part 3. It's totally the same stick.
Oh, yeah.
And toward the end of the movie, when she cuts off Sean's head, I guess they couldn't afford a prop axe. And they were probably like, oh, this is going to go so fast, nobody's going to notice. Yeah, she uses that stick to cut off his head. Or his fake head.
Hey, have you guys seen Allie?
Oh, I sent her home.
Really bad cramps last night. I think she's still.
I don't remember a lot of what I said for my... Because I did all 3 of these from my old podcast, but for part 3...
B-movie Bonanza.
B-movie Bonanza, yes.
I've meant to ask, did you use the theme song to Bonanza for that?
Do you really think I knew how to put a fucking theme song?
Well,
I didn't do anything. I just recorded the podcast, the commentary was literally just me sitting at the computer with a voice recorder.
yeah.
And I started the recording at the exact same time of the movie, and I just assumed people were going to know that they were supposed to start the movie at the same time they started the commentary. But I had wireless headphones, and so sometimes I would be lying in bed with the movie playing on the computer, and I would just be holding the voice recorder. And when I was doing part 3, my neighbors are being particularly loud. So, and I was getting very frustrated. So a lot of it is just me going, oh, shut the fuck up. So, let's hope that one's lost in the ether.
Mm-hmm. Although, are they the only 2 kids, really, that I see?
Well, except for Rob.
Emilio and Charlie?
Except for Rob, I think. No, you don't put your feet on Angela's bed to me. No, you don't.
I was bored, and I remembered Mare gave me her phone number, so I decided to give her a call. Well, when I called and asked her mom if I could speak to her,
I felt bad for her because she didn't do anything. I mean, all she did
Yeah, she was just...
she just talked too much.
Yeah, she babbled on, and that's about all.
Well, I guess in Angela's mind, she thought that Demi was putting everything together, and she wasn't. She just thought, oh, well, that's weird. And that's pretty much it. And she gets choked with a guitar string. Ugh. That had to be but I like this too, because this I think shows Pamela's comedic timing, because like she's trying to figure out what she's going to use to kill her. And she's testing the weight of the boombox, seeing how sharp the scissors are, and then she picks up the brush and fixes her hair with it. It's very funny, and that's all Pam.
Oh, really? Couldn't cut butter with those.
Then she decides on the string.
So then I decided to call the Shit Sisters. And you talk too much.
And I like when she's trying to push her out the window, and then Leah starts knocking at the door, and Angela does that. Because first she gets the water.
Right, yeah.
First she gets the water thrown on her, and then because she was going to go at the front, and
Yeah, nothing goes her way.
nothing is going right, and now it's Leah. It's just like, what the fuck now? Jesus Christ! You can't dispose of a body,
Can't I dump a body in peace?
really.
Who locked the door?
And then Leah unlocks it.
Yeah, with a stick.
Somebody locked the door. Who's here? Allie, if that's you, you're in trouble. You're not supposed to miss dinner.
She is really
God.
annoying.
What are you doing?
And she calls her Dimmy, too, which I didn't care for.
What did I do?
I'm sure Demi Moore doesn't like it either.
No. I'd always heard that she was Greek and her name was Demetria. But I don't think that's true.
Okay. I think her first name is something different than Demi. But yeah, I didn't think Greek. Not. I never put that together. But you could very much be right. Did you ever watch The Butcher's Wife?
Unfortunately.
Oh, I liked that movie, but so many people hated it.
Yeah, because it's not good. She does look good as a blonde, though. I think.
I think I couldn't get used to her as a blonde. She looked okay, but I was just in shock.
Yeah, it's very jarring. But I liked it. I liked her as a blonde. She was a blonde in something else. I don't remember.
Looks like you and I are the only two left. Don't worry, we'll still have a good time.
Now
Very
this,
frizzy hair.
oh, this scene that's about to come up when she has the nightmare was added in post because the movie ran short.
Yeah, it made me think, like, the film feels... it doesn't feel terribly short, but the fact that they had to add this, I was like, oh. And then there's a bit of extra, like, doubling up of in part 3 of something as well, I think.
Well, we'll talk more about that when we get to that one, but it definitely is padding, but what it's supposed to be is her fantasizing about what her camp counseling experience should have been like.
Yeah. The slow down voice is like...
Yeah. This is like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
It might even be longer. But also the way the credit scroll, it's very, very slow.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The actual movie itself, it's probably somewhere around 70 minutes.
74 minutes. Yeah.
Well, I would think it's shorter than that, minus the credits.
Like, this sequence, it actually reminds me of a trailer for the movie.
The trailer, yeah.
No, like, it could be a trailer. It's like...
Yeah, this I always had the same thought that this could have been the trailer. And not only is the dream long, but this moment is long, where she has to catch her breath and then finally lean back down on the pillow. I mean, they really stretched it out here.
You don't
And
stop
it's still
acting till I
going.
say cut.
Mm-hmm. It's still going.
I know.
There we go.
And still.
I mean, she sent the... Well, she didn't send. I mean, she killed everybody and
She
then
sent them
claimed
packing.
and she... But how could she possibly think that there wouldn't be any repercussions for this?
Mm.
What if I said that I was sorry and that I wouldn't do it again?
Well, like, why didn't she start saying she doesn't know where they are, as opposed to...
Yeah, there's that. I guess she had to with Phoebe because everybody saw her walk off with her in the beginning.
Yeah.
And Phoebe was named after who?
Yes.
Morning, Angela.
Phoebe Cates.
Yes, very good.
Diane will be your new counselor.
She was from Drop Dead Fred, wasn't she?
She was.
There's a movie that I liked with that Jennifer Jason Leigh wrote called The Anniversary Party. With her and Phoebe Cates in it.
Really?
Yeah, it's got it's a real low budget movie, but it had a lot of well-known, like Gwyneth Paltrow and Kevin Kline.
Well, Phoebe Cates is married to Kevin Kline, so...
Yes. And they played husband and wife in it.
They've been married a long time. Like over 30 years.
Mm. It's one of those marriages that survived Hollywood.
Well, I think one of the main reasons why their marriage has survived Hollywood is because she stopped acting in order to take care of their kids.
Yeah. Like, I know what you say. It's less about her becoming a mother, but with a lot of those actors, they seem to have a competitiveness with getting roles. Well,
Right.
that's what like Anna Faris was saying is what led to her divorce from Chris. I forget his last name. Is like he started getting a lot more popular.
What do you think of him?
I think he's cute, but he reminds me so much of someone, and I cannot put my finger in it.
He's supposed to be... I love these movies with these actors who are supposed to be teenagers and they have full hairy chests.
Yes. I mean, I had a bit of a hairy fuzz in high school, but that's because I'm European.
Yeah, but... I barely had any... I barely had, like, belly button hair at that when I was a teenager. I don't think I started to
Snail
get...
trail.
Yeah, I don't think I started to get hair under my arms until I was like 18.
Yeah.
Hi. How you doing?
I don't think I've ever seen him
Uncle
in
John
anything
makes me
else.
counselor of the week just 4
Sean.
days ago. And now he fires me?
Yeah, I did look him up, and I don't remember anything jumping out at me.
Besides, TC had just as much to do with it, and TC hates me.
No, he doesn't.
But Renee went on to have a pretty good career.
He reminds
What was
me
she
of
in?
this boy that I knew when I was
Well, I think
younger.
most notably she was on The West Wing.
He didn't like me.
Oh, okay.
But I fixed
I never saw that, but I did used to watch Veep.
Okay, totally unrelated.
So the East Wing.
But I like how in parts 2 and parts 3 she references her previous kills.
Yep.
She was talking about fucking whatever his name was from part 1.
Oh, the one she drowned?
The one she drowned, yeah.
Yeah. There's that stick again.
Mm-hmm.
Where did they go?
To that old cabin up in the woods, about a mile from here.
All right. All right, I'll be back in an hour. Angela is about to get her ass kicked.
Betcha. All right.
You see other kids in the background, but I don't know where the hell.
But they all look quite old. Like, compared to the young perverts, everyone seems quite old for kids. It's not like the Sleepaway Camp 1, where many looked, primary school.
The majority look like children. Yeah.
You'd be surprised what they put in food these days. I mean, some of that stuff.
I remember listening to a segment on some show on NPR, and they were interviewing these kids who would go to sleepaway camp every single year, and how important it was to them, and the bonds that they had made, and the friends that they had made, and how special it all was. And they looked forward to seeing their same friends every year, and must be nice to have money.
Not that I'm ever going to be a parent, but I do feel that exposing your child to other children from different areas is good, like so you don't get stuck with the same group.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because, like, by way of falling into the wrong crowd, if there's no other crowd that you can hang with, then that's all you're gonna know.
Right. Yeah, that's why a lot of parents put their kids into like t-ball and little league and stuff like that to socialize them and have them not only being around their peers, but also having some adult supervision so they don't get into trouble.
Yeah.
I played t-ball when I was like 6, and I was bad. I was really, really bad.
I think I was okay. Like, I don't think there was anyone who was terrible, but my biggest memory from t-ball was running into someone, the guy that was on third base, and just knocked him off and he went flying.
Oh, you think that's bad? One of the coaches, for some fucking reason, I have no idea, left a clipboard on the field. And I saw it and thought it was first base or whatever. And I was all happy with myself that I was about to fucking go to the base. And I took a running leap and jumped on it. Like, yay, this is first base. And then meanwhile, I turned around, and everybody's like, no, waving, the base is over there. And I'm like, oh, shit.
If I wasn't, they wouldn't have let me out.
And another time I made an executive decision because I literally had no idea how the game was played. No idea. And I thought, because I remember watching a baseball game on TV and thinking, why is it that we are going to one base and stopping, but in baseball they're running from base to base to base? Why? Am I doing something wrong? And then the next game, I decided to test this out, and I started at first, ran to second, and then everybody started screaming at me, "No, go back, go back!" And I was like, "Oh shit." Yeah, I used to knock the fucking...
That's what you get for having initiative.
Yeah. I used to knock the tee over because I was missing the ball.
I used to not like going first or second or even third because with those, you're sort of expected to just tap the ball off the tee. You didn't need to actually hit it far.
Molly, honey.
No, I don't even remember.
Aren't you hungry?
Oh, well, that's sort of how we will like talk because doing that meant people had to run to where you are to get the ball.
Isn't that right, Leah?
Whereas if you hit it, then you're sort of hitting it to the players in the field.
As my aunt always
I don't know. I think the way I was able to get through it was just by doing what the coaches told me to do.
Yeah.
Speak of the devil.
Like in Mysterious Skin.
God.
I like that line.
That is terrible.
I'll be back in a few minutes, and TC and Sean can keep you company.
It's weird that you mentioned that because I was actually thinking about checking out that book the other day.
Oh, okay. I enjoyed that movie, but it was one of the DVDs that got taken. However, I did find that I liked Bad Education, and I found that on streaming, so I'll give that another watch.
I was a bit troubled by the fisting.
Yeah.
Especially since the kids were like 8 and they were fisting the coach. That
Well, I don't think we
at
need
least
to
from what I
discuss.
remember.
Yes.
Um,
I think
I remember-
I liked everything except for for that.
except for that part.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt being sodomized.
And doing a bit of sodomy himself.
Mm. And that actor, I don't remember the actor's name, but it was so weird to see him in that movie. The older guy, who was like a vending machine person, and he had all the bags, the chips in the back of his back seat. You know what I'm talking about?
No, well, it's been a while since I've seen it.
Well, you would know him if you saw him. He's an older guy. He's got a mustache,
Yeah.
and he's been a million fucking movies. But it was so
Yeah.
weird to see him in like a total pedo kind of
Yeah.
role.
Yeah.
But and this scene here that's about to come up when Angela is chasing Molly, I always
danger, girl.
assumed. All right, settle. I don't think it's right. I don't think it's here. I don't think we're here yet. No, not here. When she starts saying, "Molly, stop! I just want to be your friend," because everything is clear. There really aren't any trees or anything. And the camera is gliding. I always assumed that was shot like on the side of the road because they were able to have they were able to roll here.
Here is what. Yeah.
Because they were able to roll the camera either or put down dolly tracks. Well, I would think they were probably rolling the camera because it takes a while to put down dolly tracks. And they probably didn't have a lot of time on this movie. So yeah, I'd be willing to bet that's what they did because it looks very much like what you would see if you were driving down a road with what do you call it on
Nature on the
either side of you. Well, I was going for what do you call it? Not greenery. What the fuck is that word?
Scrub?
No, I don't want no
Scrubland?
scrub. No. Oh, it doesn't matter.
Filming at the passenger side. I'm going to stop with that. Oh, now they get the knife back. Ugh.
Yeah, this fight scene is kind of, or the fight scenes that happened right before, they're very, very much choreographed, just like the fight scene in part 3.
Yeah.
But I think it, for the most part, works out because they weren't stunt people; they're actors, and they were doing their own stunts. Yeah. So when you look at, especially part 3, when you look at it, you could tell how choreographed it is. But I think that shot right there of the sunset is reused in part 3. I don't like this. I don't like it. It's because not only did she cut out their eyes, but she nailed them to the wall.
Well, she's being poetic.
That was fucked up. And when you see Rob, his eyes move. His eyes they flicker. Because he's like got the thing in his mouth, the gag in his mouth. I think it was right there.
Oh yeah, there it is. Yep.
They use that again at the end of it. At the end of the credits.
Just to pad the movie out even more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just a couple more seconds. Make it a little bit longer. And she has to kill this poor lady because she smokes.
Smokes in the car.
And she curses. And she admits to having promiscuous sex. She's funny though. For this small part, I think she's good in this in this little role.
I quit these things so many times I had to quit. Mind cracking a window?
I forget her name, but in the face, she actually reminds me a bit of Sylvia from A Dirty Shame.
Tracy Ullman? Really?
Yeah. Well, that could have been a cameo casting.
I don't think so. She was too busy with the Tracy Ullman show at this time.
Yes.
I have to say,
and I don't know why she came back, just by the way.
Who, Angela?
Angela, yeah.
I don't know if she necessarily came back. I think she just happened to be going down the same road that Molly was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was very, very anticlimactic.
Yes, a bit.
But I think they had to end it in a way where the viewer wouldn't be questioning whether or not Angela would come back. You would know that she's still alive and kicking.
Yeah. And, like, I'd rather end there than have to see another chase scene with Molly.
Uh-huh. Look how slow these credits are going.
Yes.
This is definitely slower than the average movie, I would say.
Hmm.
This music is awful. I hate the music in both these movies. Yeah. And
it's like Metallica having a moment.
And the Dead Milkmen have a song. I think it's in this one. And I don't know. When I first saw this, I thought that these were just all like no-name bands who like did the songs for the movie. I didn't know that the Dead Milkmen were really a band. And like when I was friends with this girl, actually the girl I lost my virginity to, her brother was a big metalhead. I wouldn't say that. But yeah, her brother was a big metalhead, and I don't think he had a Dead Milkmen CD or something, but he had like a metal magazine, and there was something about the Dead Milkmen in it, and I was like, oh shit, They're real.
Yeah.
Huh. You like this kind of music?
Oh, I appreciate it. The only band that I've bought a CD of which reminds me of this type of music is a band called Skid Row, and that's.
You think I don't know who Skid Row is?
Well, I remember you. But no, I mean, there was a time when I was trying to expand my music tastes, so I bought a band for every letter of the alphabet.
Oh
And
wow!
For R, I got Rammstein.
Why didn't you get like Real McCoy or something?
That wouldn't be expanding my musical vocabulary.
Fair enough.
Like, I already had the Real McCoy.
Of course you did. I can't believe it. Well, I can't. Well, when you listen to the music now, you can kind of understand why they only had one record. They were not good. I think they were trying to capitalize on Ace of Base. Because,
Real McCoy. Sorry, I thought you were talking about the Dead Milkmen. Okay.
The Dead Milkmen as well. But,
No, but the Real McCoy had that pseudo rapper. You know, the guy.
And so did Ace of Base.
Oh, I don't remember any male rapping.
Good night, campers.
Good night, Angela. Wow.
Well, that was Sleepaway Camp 2. And I don't know what the hell this is. What is this?
This is coming soon. Sleepaway Camp 3, Teenage Wasteland.
Oh. I didn't even know it was there. Because that was.
No, I was going to say this is a couple of extra seconds of nothing at the end, and then that came on. So
yeah, that was not on the VHS. I wonder if they just did that for the DVD.
Yeah,
maybe.
I don't know. Well, I imagine that. I could imagine that being at the cinema, but. Then why not be?
Oh, you think this was played in theater?
Sleepaway Camp 2?
Yeah, if it was, it had a very, very limited theatrical release.
Yeah. Just Wisconsin.
Just Wisconsin. Yes, it was only played in the Bible Belt. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, before conventions and stuff, a lot of indie filmmakers, hold on, at conventions and such. A lot of indie filmmakers have a showing of their film if they're like trying to sell it, hoping for like a distributor to be there or whatever. And for some reason, that's counted as like a theatrical release. They call that a limited theatrical. But the horror convention circuit really didn't start to become popular until around the turn of the century. Before, it was just Comic-Con. So when you hear that movies like this were shown theatrically, it's like, where the fuck would you find this in a theater? Because in the interviews that are on the Slumber Party Massacre 3 disc, one of the actresses who was from a small town said that it was shown in a theater in her hometown, and like all of her family went to go see her.
Yeah.
So and that was 90.
Yeah.
They did. Not many theaters, but they played somewhere at some point.
Yeah.
You didn't get to your trivia. Okay. Did you want to get to your trivia?
No, that's all right. Oh, no, I contributed, I put in some tidbits. I don't really think there was anything that we didn't chat about.
Well, that's good. So, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was going to ask if you had any final thoughts.
I had nothing to say. No.
You have nothing to
I
say?
enjoyed that. I am speechless.
You are without speech?
Yes. You enjoyed that
Of
viewing
course.
for you?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes. I've seen this movie. This goes in the list of movies that I've seen a ridiculous amount of times.
Yeah.
And a lot of it had to do with the fact that I didn't get to see it for what felt like a long time. But when you're like all of like 10, forever is like 2 months or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I saw 3 first, and then 1, and then my mom and pop video store didn't have it, and my friend Jason, who I used to rent a lot of movies with at the time, his brother was a member of a video store that was kind of, it wasn't, I'm not going to say it was like far, but it just like wasn't in our immediate neighborhood. It was a little out of the way, and they had it, and it wasn't until we discovered that, because again, was the time when we didn't have Blockbuster. So it was only small independently run video stores, and yeah, it wasn't until then that I finally was able to see it. And shortly thereafter, I special ordered it from it must have been a year or 2 after, because yeah, I remember we got Blockbuster probably around 92-ish, and I special ordered it from their distributor, and yeah, then when I got my own copy, I watched it a lot. A lot.
Till the metallic tape wore out.
Well, I suppose it would have if there was like, something remotely wankable in it.
Yes. If there was pain.
But if there was penis, or if I, got something out of Sean's hairy chest or something, but nothing really got the teenage hormones raging in this one. So I think the wear and tear stayed pretty good.
Yep.
And I was very glad to see that when the DVD came out, there wasn't anything cut from it like there was for part 1.
Yes, yeah. But at least with part 1, they didn't cut out the reveal. Like, because that was, of nudity, that was the most nude that you'd see someone.
I guess. Well, you couldn't cut that out, because then the movie would have made no sense. But then again, too, that was not wanking material at all.
Well, not for you.
Oh God,
not for me either.
Well, I'm sure somebody enjoyed it. Because there are people who are into pre-op trance.
Chicks with dicks.
Well, I was going for a little more classier term, but...
Well, I was referencing Serial Mom.
I know what you were doing.
Don't blame me. Blame Catherine Hepburn. Not Catherine Hepburn, sorry. Kathleen Turner.
Yes, I will blame Katharine Hepburn.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, there was nothing sexy at all about that scene, because especially since the kid, well, he was only 18, so he was a kid, and he was built like he was 12, so that's not sexy.
the jockey with Angela's face.
The jockey.
Because he was a bit small. He was like a jockey build.
Oh yes, jockeys are very small. That's true. We don't really talk about jockeys here because they're not very prominent.
You don't have much horse racing?
I'm sure we do in some areas. There actually used to be a horse racing area not too far from me. It had like a restaurant and everything. We could go and bet on the horses. I don't think it's there anymore.
Yeah.
That was a long time
But not
ago.
an actual track.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't pay much attention to horses.
Yeah.
Okay. So, unless you have any final thoughts, I think we should wrap this one up.
I look forward to part 3. That's my final thought.
Yes. Okay. Well, thank you very much for joining me for this one. And I hope everybody enjoyed listening. So, until Sleepaway Camp 3, this is Brandon Ford wishing you all unpleasant dreams.